it was nothing against the city of Baltimore or anything like that. It was just a matter of what I had to do what I thought was best for John Elway, and that the situation at Baltimore was not better than the situation I had with baseball.
Well, that was John Elway saying, look, I got to do what's best for John Elway. And sometimes athletes absolutely have to do what's best for themselves. Because if NBA teams, NHL teams, NFL teams, etc., are going to run it like it is a business and treat players as such, then there's nothing wrong with the players also treating it like a business and acting as such. And I think that's real simple. A modern day case is Ace Bailey right now, who reportedly his agents and people have been telling the Utah Jazz, we're not going to play for you. Now, the rumor was this kid was going to go at number 3. Is what it is. Predictability, things happen. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know if they're going to take that player or not. Last minute change of heart, whatever the case may be. Let's get past that. I believe in the athlete having the absolute right to say no to a team. Don't forget, Terry Bradshaw has one of the most infamous rants about John Elway of all time, telling him that he should play baseball. And as a matter of fact, here it is right here.
He didn't want to go to a team that needed his services. And by him saying, I don't want to do that, to me was a slap in the face to the draft and to the National Football League. You know, and he said, well, I'll play baseball. Play baseball. You should play baseball. Because in my opinion, he's not the kind of guy you win championships with. He never did it when he was at Stanford. I don't think he'll do it at Denver. Personally, don't care if he ever does it.
John Elway ended up going to 5 Super Bowls, by the way, and he won 2 of them. And before anybody talks about him being carried and yada, 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 I'm not going to get into the Elway debate. What I am talking about is, number one, how absolutely wrong Terry Bradshaw was in this situation. How Terry Bradshaw had just given into the notion of you got to do what you got to do for the team that wants you, and it's a slap in the face, and I believe that I could turn Pittsburgh around. I'm not going to say that Bradshaw wasn't a part of that. What I am going to say is the Pittsburgh Steelers consistently had a great defense. Frank O'Hara had one of the, I'm not going to call it luckiest plays, but one of the absolute craziest plays in the history of the NFL. We could go on and on and on. And by the way, at a time when receivers were exceptional, were really at a premium, Lynn Swann was really good. The point of what I'm making here is, I don't care who's stating it. And every athlete's entitled to believe what they want to believe. If you have a Terry Bradshaw who thinks that John Elway and people like him are wrong for doing what they're doing, that's fine. Let him speak up. I personally don't agree with it. I would say that John Elway is right, that Bo Jackson was right, that Eli Manning was right, and that Ace Bailey is right. For whatever reason, let's not forget that the primary reason that John Elway did not want to go to Baltimore was because he thought that Irsay was lying about moving the team, and like thieves in the night, they snuck right on out of there. It was a year later. Now, somebody's going to say, well, maybe if they got Elway, they wouldn't have done it. The bottom line is the rumors were already there, and when Elway was conducting his interview with the team, he has an opportunity to ask questions. It's the same as any other job, people. Is there anything you'd like to ask us? Yes. Are you going to move the team or not? He felt that he was being lied to, and Elway was correct in his inkling. And that's the bottom line. And he was a man with options. He could have gone and played baseball if he really wanted to. But John Elway ended up sticking with it. They traded him to Denver, and that's what it was. The rest is literally history. Up until Tom Brady, no quarterback had played in more Super Bowls than John Elway. The point of the matter is if Ace Bailey doesn't want to go to Utah for whatever reason, that's his right. And there's nothing that says that he absolutely has to sign with the Jazz. He can forego it. And people are going to say, play ball in Europe, go ahead, play in the G League, go ahead. Yeah, if he really wants to. And let's not be remiss that this is a case in point in the way that the NCAA is now. These guys have a lot of money when they're coming out of college, or at least they should. They should have something saved away for a rainy day fund at least. But the amount of money that they're making now in the NCAA with the NIL, the leverage is not there with these teams any longer. It was dwindling as it was without NIL. There are players out there that won't do it. Don't forget about the report that came out about Caleb Williams, where he really didn't want to go to Chicago and just kind of gave in at the last moment and said, all right, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go to Chicago. At some point, you have to be a little bit selfish in your career. That's whether anybody likes it or not. And why do we think we have a say-so in how somebody else deals with their life? John Elway was very clear in the 30 for 30. He's like, yeah, Bradshaw was upset over how I was managing my career. Tell him, John. His life, his career, the way that he wanted it. And Ace Bailey has a right to do the same thing. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there's no risk. There's absolutely a risk in it. The risk is that things do not work out for him. No other NBA team wants him. Things don't work out somewhere else. And people look at it like, well, it's a bust anyway. It is a very good possibility that could happen, but we don't know that. Nobody has the crystal ball. I mean, come on, man. How many of us love that movie Moneyball? He flat out asked him, Brad Pitt's character asked him, hey, what did you think I would have done? What did you think I would have done? Would you have taken me? No, I would have thought you would have done this instead. I wouldn't have drafted you. Ha! Remember that? Such a good movie. That's the point. Nobody's got a crystal ball. Nobody has the absolution to the future. Doesn't exist. And Ace Bailey is taking a risk, but I think that the reward potential right now is greater than the risk potential. I think because if you're a top 5 pick considered to be in the NBA draft, where slots are exceptionally limited, then your upshot is worth way more than whatever downside you have to you. So it's calculated, and there's always the potential that it'll blow up in your face, but why not? If you know you've got the leverage, go ahead and use it. And again, the bottom line is, as long as the teams and owners and people who are making decisions about players' lives with trades and all that stuff, as long as all that continues to be a factor, then I absolutely support 110% the athletes making choices like this because of their gut instinct, what they want to do with their career, the type of money that they want to make, the type of team they want to play for, whether or not they want championships or money or whatever the case is. That's 100% up to them, as long as people are hearing about trades while they're sitting on the bench of a ball game. Remember that situation? All right, everybody, I am Drew Duncan. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan Radio. I am wherever you are listening to podcasts. Tell your device to play the Drew Duncan Sports Show. Everybody stay safe, take care of yourselves, and have a wonderful rest of your night and or day.